So we tend to think that speaking out or reaching out for help is exposing yourself, right? And I completely agree with you that there are certain things really that you can't do by yourself.
Yeah.
You need to reach out to a professional.
Let's talk. Can we talk about life, love, and relationship?
Good morning and welcome to today's episode of Life, Love and Relationships. We're excited to have you here. Today, if you are in a relationship or marriage that is currently struggling, whatever the challenge is, be it communication, both of you at this point, you are emotionally distant, you're not sure what the future holds. So your heart is currently in a place of uncertainty. Today, we're going to talk about how to co-parent in such difficult times in marriage, because we need to bear in mind that regardless of how we feel, regardless of the challenges we're experiencing as a couple, the children must not suffer. And for us to ensure that this happens, we must be intentional in how we handle our pain and how we allow the atmosphere in the home, the way we relate with the children, and how parenting is structured and carried out in this difficult times. So to do this with me today again is Coach Aniekan. Coach Aniekan, again, you're welcome to Life, Love and Relationships.
Thank you very much.
I
Welcome.
really want to thank you for always making yourself available. This we do not take for granted.
You're welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
So today we're talking about a very interesting topic, and I thought we should look at it from the point of view of the reality that when you're going through pain, especially when that relationship has evolved to a point where there's so much uncertainty about the future, the heart is filled with pain. And whether knowingly or unknowingly, if things are not handled properly, it can affect the way we co-parent. And then on a larger note, the success of parenting together is, the unity, how you both agree to do it. The Bible says, can two work together except they agree? So these are lives, destinies, futures in our hands that we must be deliberate enough, regardless of how we feel, because sometimes how we feel is just in the moment. We cannot allow that to affect, a legacy of 100 years. Life sometimes run for as long as 100 years. And how we raise those children today can impact not just them, but the generations to come.
Some things they say is better experience or better felt to really be able to give words to it. So let's look at how pain works in itself. So now normally someone has offended you to the point that it's as if your heart was ripped out. So I don't want to deny the reality of your pain, but you see, we are emotional beings, but we shouldn't be driven by our emotions.
Thank you.
Because if you don't understand that, then you will just keep being a yo-yo person. Whether
Your
you're a
word,
Christian,
yo-yo.
you're a Christian or you are not a Christian, it makes no difference.
Yeah.
There has to be some, I call it consistency in your life. So, for example, it's not whether it's your fault or not, take fault out of it. There is a task. The task is to make sure that these children grow up in an environment that would aid them. So the focus is them, is not you. So regardless, and let me try and digress a bit. You see, when we go through pain, we want to drag everybody into that pain experience with us. We want
Sometimes
to drag.
unknowingly.
It's the thing. You're not doing it purposely. You're looking for sympathy, which is what everybody wants, and feel with me.
And a feeling to be understood.
That's right. And when that happens after a while, if you don't get it, then you will try to get it any which way you can. But you see, despite that pain, despite what you're going through, understand there's something you said when you started. You said two can work together and they agree. So we can agree on certain things. We can agree on certain things. Hey, listen, you are not my favorite right now. I don't like you. You offended me. I'm hurt. Yeah. But when it comes to children, we will keep that apart. So you understand? It's a thing we can do if we make up our minds to do it. Yeah. Sometimes I think that we get to a point where the hurt is so much we don't care. I don't care who it hurts. You don't care who it.
We lose rationality.
Now think about it like this. If you're 40, say you have another Christ marriage, you have another 40 years to live, to be 80. Those children would be young when you leave. So the question is, what happens to them? What did you leave for them? What did you model for them? You understand? Wouldn't it really rather, let me use the word, legendary if when you leave, they said, so daddy went through this. Many things that we enjoy now, people went through hell for it to happen for us. So if we can do that, then
I like that.
it means we are selfish beings. We talked some time ago about loving yourself. You see, you have self-absorbed yourself and think that it is all about you. No.
Yeah.
So if you agree, sit down and say, you know what, I don't agree with you on this, I don't agree with you on this, this sucks, this doesn't look good. But when it comes to the children, we would forget everything that is pain and make it about them. It's not going to be for life, it's going to be for a period of time. All that time is done, they go and you're good. But that's what I think that they should do.
Yes.
Acknowledge your pain.
Thank you. Yes, acknowledge your pain. Acknowledge that it is there. And I really like what you said about we need to know that this is a task that has to be accomplished.
True.
And the success of that task would unavoidably affect generations to come.
True.
But sometimes, regardless of our effort, regardless of our best intention, and regardless of our effort, children, we know that children are like sponges. They absorb, right? So how do we, and then I would like you to list, a few steps. How do we protect children from absorbing marital tension?
Great question. One easy way to do it now, you are not trying to be fake. So you're not saying I don't feel pain. No, that's not what you're doing. In your internal, same thing. Let me use an example. When you want to pray, something is on your mind, maybe it's hurting, and you want to pour your heart to God. You don't do it in the living room, you don't do it outside on the street. You go into your room, into your closet, you lock the door, and you have that intense moment. Makeup off, your tears in your eyes, everything is let loose. And then you clean up, and then you come out. And then someone looks at you and doesn't even know what you did inside. So we can do it. That's how I want you to approach the children. Listen, if something happens and they are there, you have to pull yourself together. It doesn't matter what it is. You can get up, excuse yourself, go to the room, lock the door, and scream if nobody hears you, and then come back out.
Yeah.
But you see, I think sometimes we think we will do this for the rest of your life. Maybe not. Because those children will get to a point where they will have to leave. Once they leave, if you choose that time to be running around crying in the house, you can do that. But the idea is that for the sake of these children, don't let them err because you were hurt. Because if you do, so many things would follow, which you would not be able to come back to correct. And that's what we want you to kind of put in front of you, not behind you, in front of you, that it's about them, and whatever happens will either marry them for good or inspire them for good.
Yeah.
Everybody feels pain. I'm here now. I can tell you that I call it pain of growth, pain of transition, pain of change. Everybody goes through it, but we don't all wear it on our faces. We all don't have to let you know that I'm feeling pain. You understand? There are people you can talk with. Maybe you have close friends you can talk with. You can talk with Oluwakemi or myself and say, listen, Coach Aniekan, I'm going through this. How do I find, so that you can find peace for yourself, knowing that there's a bigger task for you to accomplish. You see, don't mess with those children, no matter what you do. Trust me. You think that you give back to them. Yes, it's true, but they are in our care. We are caring for them, that not really ours. So if the owner of the children, which is God, comes and asks what happened to my daughter or my son, I said that I got upset. I jumped up said, okay, God, so why did you jump up from up the balcony?
Yeah.
No, I did not. I didn't do that. So please, and trust God for grace to do it. If you agree and say, listen, I don't agree with you. I'm hurt right now, but for the sake of the children, I choose to put that aside. Lord, give me grace to do that. You will do it.
I really like what you said. That practical step you've given us about, you're angry, something has come up in the moment, but you need to be aware and take responsibility for the reality that the children are currently present. So you go into the room and then you express your disagreement with one another. I think that's what you inferred when you talked about, when you want to pray, when you go inside, you have that intense moment with God, but then you're keeping it away from the children. But I'd like to say that, sometimes rationality is flung out the window in the heat of the moment, right? But then you are absolutely right, sir, to say that we must be very intentional. And then I think we should go a step even further to say this is not a usual moment. This is not the standard thing. So I think that also brings to fore the awareness, the need. That also brings to our very conscious, to our consciousness, the need to be extra careful and extra conscious in this very difficult moment. I'd like to ask Sam, when you are in that space of wanting to be rational, keeping it away from the children, sometimes it may look like you are in, encouraging toxicity.
Hmm.
It may look like you are, sometimes because you are the rational person, it's not guaranteed that the other person would always be rational. So how really can one discern between enduring or enabling toxic patterns?
So, great question. How do you understand that there's toxic in the midst and you want to keep that in let me use the word in
Check.
check? Now, sometimes some things may be out of your control because you don't have. I can't control the action of the other person. I can only control my action. I can only determine what I want to do. But think about it like driving on the streets of Lagos, for example. You're driving your car, driving the car, the person in front of you, person behind you, person beside you. So you are practically managing a lot of things around you just for your own sanity.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, let me also let you understand that you might need external help. Don't Sometimes we think that these things are shameful. So what you want to look at is if you need help, because as I explained, you're managing not just your own emotion, but the emotion of your spouse at that point in time, and you're understanding that it's possible to create a toxic environment. But I don't encourage you to keep that. You don't fund that. And how do you? There's a way you can. For example, if I come in and Oluwakemi, for instance, is frowning, I just keep smiling. I just keep smiling. And what happens is that she'll wonder why you're smiling, what's funny, and I just keep smiling. I'm not smiling at her, I'm just smiling, I'm just happy, not because I'm in a place of happiness, but I just want to create a different atmosphere around us. So you have to keep regulating it. And sometimes you realize that if you get upset, and maybe you raise your voice at me, and I keep talking calm, I've noticed that I don't feed that. So a lot of things you can practice. When these things don't work,
Yeah.
don't be ashamed. There's nothing to be ashamed
And I agree
because
with
you
you,
have conflict.
sir.
Nothing to be ashamed. Get help. Get help.
I completely agree with you. People, sometimes we tend to think, because we are hoping that things would eventually work out. So we tend to think that speaking out or reaching out for help is exposing yourself, right? And I completely agree with you that there are certain things really that you can't do by yourself. You need to reach out to a professional to help you through this. Because one thing that I've found is when you do this, when you seek professional help, you begin to understand yourself even better. And that helps you to control what you're receiving from the other end. Thank you so much for your time and for always sharing your wisdom with us.
My pleasure.
Thank you, guys. So our confession for today is, even in emotional drought, I will show up in love. God's wisdom leads me to parent with peace, patience, and purpose. My children will not carry the weight of my pain. I partner with God to raise them well, even in difficult times. And I want you to also have that determined in your mind that your children will not carry your pain. You have to be intentional about how you show up, how you react to these situations at every point in time. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Life, Love, and Relationships. And we hope to see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
And relationship. Can we talk about life, love, and relationship?